Hmm.
Hello everyone, I am Stephen. You may know me as Stevie126 on Fumble, the NAF, or on Discord if you're on the same servers as me. We are going to start our AAS Season 3, and I am joined by Ollie, the coach of the Messy Gauls and the Club Robbers from Season 2 and Season 1 respectively. How are you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing very well indeed. Still reeling from my second place in Season 2, but I'll deal.
Yeah, it happens. It was a very good game, and as I said on the voice chat when we watched it, kudos for playing a lineman team basically.
It was fun. I will recommend Beastman as an individual player as one of the best linemen in the game. I think.
Yeah, I don't think
such a good skill.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong there. So heading into Season 3, we have 10 teams. We're joined by 2 new coaches from our sort of friendship group, Emil and Jay. Emil being Enlil down here and Jay being Zedru. But we'll start at the top here with Jason, who played the Meme Lord Crusaders with the Ferrero Rocher. He's switched over to Khemri for this season.
Yeah, he was a bit disappointed without too much Strength 5, so he went for the most Strength 5, right?
Yeah, I mean it's a fair thing to do. I don't fancy all this Edge 1 and Edge 2 here, but you know.
Yeah, considering how often he complains about picking up the ball, I'm surprised he went for a team who's bad at picking up the ball.
It's alright, he's going to complain this season and he'll switch over to another team. Fine. But no. But yeah, so what do you think of his build with 4 Guardians, 2 Throw Rars and only 1 Blitz Rar?
I was looking at that and I think... I mean, the costings wouldn't have really allowed it, I think, looking at it, but I wouldn't have gone for 2 Throw Rars.
Yeah, I think I would have gone for try and get 2 Blitz Rars myself.
Yeah, I prefer the single person on attack and rest on defense and defense and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because you're only picking up with one person. Like, how often, do you really want to hand off as a 2-Edge team? Really?
I mean, I think it might not be that. It might be sort of replacing a unlikely casualty. I say unlikely, they're up to 7, but you know, or just having that backup.
7. It's still less likely when they get hit. You're less likely to be hit to have armor break with 7 because it's 7's the most likely number. You're still above, and you still have to go through so many things. So I think planning for that, it's better to plan for not being hit than it is for being hit in this case, at least.
Yeah.
Just because Blitz Rars have block and armor 8. And they have the same edge.
And they're movement 6. But I dare say, what's the cost? Yeah, they're 20k more. You wouldn't have got that 3rd reroll.
Yeah, no, so I can see why. But I don't know. I might have even saved some money, changed the thrower for a normal skeleton. Just more fodder in the front line because they're only 40k the skeletons. You can earn some money, fire them, and buy someone new later.
Yeah. And you can't
there's nothing wrong with not starting at 1,000 team, starting at like 970 team value. Nothing wrong.
Yeah, and that's going to come up on some of the teams later.
Indeed.
Right, so let's move on to the next one. But before we do, kudos Jason for your chocolate names, and kudos for getting the Pharaoh Rocher.
That is a good the meme naming. If we had points for names, this is definitely up there for potential winner of names.
Right, so Robbo is playing the Cossack Bullsackers, Kislev Slan team.
Yeah, let's just imagine they're all frogs, let's be honest.
Yeah, yep.
It's way easier.
Yep, so he's gone for the No Blitzers and a Tame Bear. I just tried to think of the other one. Build.
Croxball.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
See, I honestly don't mind this. I actually saying that the catches are fairly cheap for what they are, so I don't mind it at all actually.
Yeah.
But I'm not a big fan of Slan blitzers.
I mean,
they don't have block.
I know, they don't have block. They're great when they're leveled up, and he's going to have to try and drop 110k now to grab one.
Yeah, 110k and leveling them up. I will say I think I prefer, because you can level up a lineman to get block, and they won't be that different to a blitzer.
Yeah.
Like everyone says diving, but the thing with for me, the reason I don't like the blitzers in Slam is because you have to. They're on the enemy team. They're good at blitzing because you put them next to the ball carrier and they have to run away, and you're good at stopping them running away. That's great.
I mean, in theory, that's how you should play Blood Bowl. You want the opponent to roll the dice and not you.
But if you have block, rolling 2 dice is just great.
Yeah.
It's just better, especially early, and then you level them up, and then they're just always ahead, because Blood Bowl is a fair and balanced game.
Completely.
Eventually everyone gets block. But they have to spend a level up on getting block. If you have a play without that, you're already ahead. You're 1 skill ahead of everyone else.
Fair. What do you think about him taking the Croc score, sorry?
I was I did play a friendly against him.
Mm.
The bear didn't do too much, but the thing my personal mantra for big guys is they're shit unless you don't have one.
And then suddenly you wish you had one.
Exactly. Anytime. So if he didn't go for the tame bear and he went for 2 blitzers, because that is an expensive fucking bear.
Well, the blitz is 110, I think.
Oh, they're so not worth that.
Or 100, but still, he wouldn't have got much from you.
Yeah, but the tame bear, if he didn't have that and he went up against, let's say, I assume there's a Skaven Rat Ogre.
Yes, there
probably. Yeah, so, and a few of the other guys, and there's all the others that have at least 1 big guy. 1 big guy versus 1 big guy basically nullifies.
Yeah.
Like, neither of them are really doing anything that useful that game.
Yeah.
But if you don't have one and they do, that big guy is doing work.
Yeah.
So it's kind of in my head. The only reason you take a big guy is if you're scared of another big guy.
Yeah.
So I don't mind the tame bear. The one problem is we're in a league with Khemri, so any number of big guys less than 4 is always going to be worse.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, we don't really have any stunty teams, so at least
That's
it won't be
point.
that. You'll be the only team I think he'll struggle with.
Yeah, no, I can see that. Yeah, stunty teams obviously lacking any decent people to get a few dice blocks on Khemri. It's a rough fight, so that's probably good.
Yeah. Alright.
Mm-hmm. Right.
This is my team, and I'd have already had a little bit of hate for this. Not from the people I'm playing with, thankfully, but I posted this on the community. This is my Count as Khorne team. So I'll just quickly go through this. I've taken a Minotaur as my Bloodthirster. He has Jugs, and he has Mighty Blow instead of Claw, Thick Skull instead of Regen, you know, sort of trade, and Edge instead of movement, and he's only 10k cheaper than he should be. I have 3 Count as Bloodletters, which are Beastmen with Horns, Armor 8 instead of Regen, and Mutations instead of Agility Access, which I think is fine. And then...
Sorry, finish.
Don't disagree with me now, mate. I've already locked in. And then we've got this many 6 Pit Fighters, as it were, which are Rotters with Frenzy. I will obviously, if Nurgle's Rot does trigger, I will just fire them after the match, and it only occurs at the end of the match, so it won't take matter to the game itself. And yeah, it's pretty much the same cost as a Pit Fighter, and the Blood Letters are the same cost as these Beastmen. I should have mentioned that.
So what's the hate you received for this? What is it people that aren't happy about with it?
Basically that it's too wrong.
Too many substituting skills.
Yeah, and access, which I was surprised at, you know. Like, these guys have mutations instead of passing. Which, I mean, I don't know if I'd use passing access. Admittedly, I'd take leader, because this team needs rerolls like there's no tomorrow. So I'm losing a reroll, but instead having a more varied sort of lineman. With one less movement.
the thing I will say to anyone saying it's a detraction, like I get that it's not exactly right, and that's it's Blood Bowl 2. It doesn't have the right level of customization, and it just doesn't have Khorne, which is always a shame. But at the same time, because it's a pre-leveled up team, you are at a disadvantage because you have to think about all these price inflations. If you think it's overpowered, then you're wrong because you have to get 10 SPP to level up.
Yeah.
Everyone else would have to get 6. That is a pass and a try behind everyone else.
Yeah.
To get any level ups.
Try is a touchdown to anyone that doesn't know rugby.
Sorry.
Yes,
bit too much playing rugby in my youth. Clearly.
Yeah, same. But no.
So balance-wise, I'm honestly not. I'm not worried about this. Like it is a fun team to be against. It's because again we did a friendly as well.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's very hard, like planning against this because of the jugs and because of the frenzy.
I mean, it's not gonna lie. It's hard to plan with this as well.
Yeah, it's a very, very positional-based game, but that's the point of Khorne. So I think it gets the feel of Khorne down pretty well.
That's what I wanted. And the other thing is that the other side to you saying I'm not going to get level ups, which means I should get more inducements, but this is a mixed race team. I can't take star players. I can only take mercenaries.
I think you can take some star players.
Not as far as I'm aware, mate. I can't. Yeah, because when I saw someone make the Chaos Pact mixed team, which I used in Season 1, I couldn't take any star players. So there were some suggested mercenaries to take in place of star players.
It might depend on the mixed team, because I've definitely played a mixed team and I had access to a couple.
Okay, well hopefully then that would be really nice.
It might be only that star players that are available to all of the teams of a mixed team can be taken.
Yeah, well we will just have to wait and see.
Yeah,
obviously. Yeah, and shout out to Jason, who basically named this whole team except for my Gores, named after favourite podcasts.
Nice.
Oh, and Tony Skullflaker, reference to the cornflakes. So, yeah, you played against this team? How do you feel about it?
Balance, which is to say, not great, but not god awful.
I think you mean average.
Yeah, kind of like it's interesting. You have the potential for some really fun plays, some really good stuff. Chaos Beastmen, as I said before, are without a doubt the best linemen in the game. They're just an incredible team, incredible player. So with jugs, it means you don't have to get block as often.
Yeah.
Which is just nice because it opens you up to have that freedom to kind of get something done. Like if anyone has watched the other games, I have 2 Beastmen with Edge 4.
I don't think I'm going to be... Maybe Khorne will bless me, but I don't think he's going to give me Edge.
You never know, and plus you'd rather strength, because horns and strength up on a Beastman is also disgusting, because then he's a big guy.
Yeah.
You've basically just got a standard big guy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Chaos Minotaur also, in my opinion, one of the best big guys. Again, because of horns, because he can fight on a one-on-one big guy anytime.
Yeah.
You can always 2-dice an enemy big guy, which is really useful in this game. Unless you're against 4 big guys. But...
Well, we will just leave the Khemri question until we meet it.
No one likes being against Khemri.
Talking of teams no one likes to be against, my least favourite team, Orcs.
Least favourite, really? That's surprising.
Orcs,
in terms of being against, I assume.
Yeah. I have just been personally victimised by Orcs and Lizardmen.
Oh yeah, Lizardmen much the same. It's an abundance of strength 4, but they can still play the ball, which feels very bullshit, and I do understand that.
Yeah, and luckily we have no Lizardmen this time.
No Lizardmen, thank God.
Yes. It won't last, but for one season.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll be happy with that.
I was looking at the team page, and I was like, he didn't take the goblins after we spoke about it, and he did. He snuck right there. right in the
Yeah, I
back.
was gonna say 2 goblins, no troll.
No, we had a long old chat with Martin about this the other day.
Yeah, but I'm interested because he could drop a goblin and get another thrower,
Yeah, he could. You could
and he goes up to 1,000. So I might make that suggestion to him because I think he can still edit the team.
he can edit it before he has his first game.
Yeah,
I think
so
even
and I
if
would
I
suggest
start the
that
rounds.
because goblins are just flat out useless in this game. Like,
Well, I disagree
generally.
because I was the one who told him to take goblins instead of line orcs.
Really?
Yeah, because basically line orcs on an orc team that's built with 4 blitzers and 4 black orcs, in my opinion, and I think it's shared by some people on the internet, is that these 8 players are your muscle. The line orcs are to help the thrower, or maybe the thrower will hand off to someone. If you have goblins, you save 10k per goblin compared to a line orc, and also you can
Dodge and stunty.
dodge and stunty. You have a bit more edge. You go less from orc and a bit more into like lizardmen territory.
I suppose I can see that.
Yeah, that's why we made the suggestion to him to maybe take goblins, save 30k for an apothecary or whatever he wants later on.
Yeah.
And later on he can get a troll and start throwing them.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like a thrower is better than 1 goblin though. Like just like as much as I poo-pooed the idea of 2 throwers in the last game in the Kenwi team. In this situation, it's like if you have two throwers in the backline who can kind of throw back to each other every now and again or hand off to each other. And as you say, you've got an eight-man front line, it's a devastating front line. 4 guys with block and movement 6, 4 guys strength 4, all armor 9.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel like the court, this 9, 10, and 11 team numbers here, they're the ball players.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like I personally would prefer 2 throwers and 1 goblin rather than a thrower and 2 goblins, but we shall see how it works out. I can see why you take the 2 goblins.
Yeah. I mean, it's up to him. To be fair, when we did this, I didn't realise taking the second thrower was an option money-wise.
Yeah.
So
it should be just perfect, yeah.
It will be just perfect if he does it.
Goblins can still catch on a 3-up, isn't it? Their stunty doesn't affect catching, only throwing, right?
As far as I'm aware, I'll tell you what, I'll go on now. Stunty. Dodge roll. When they pass, yeah. So they can catch fine.
So he's still got wide receivers in that because he can just, run them around the edge with dodge stunty and then just throw it to them in the next turn if they survive.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like I'm thinking a bit too much, probably like an elf team, but you got pass on these throwers anyway. Like you may as well go for a 3-up rerollable throw.
It does give him 2 more options rather than just a grind.
Yeah,
and it frees up the rest of his players rather than starting to have to stick to a cage as much. He's got 8 people he can just beat up on anyone he wants.
This is true. It's going to be an interesting one. I'm interested to see. Oh my god! I just noticed the names as well. That's going to be
all Crunk,
confusing. Yeah. I like Crunk with the question mark. I think he's going to be the MVP.
I hope so.
And also Crunk with a lowercase k for the goblins. That seems appropriate.
Yeah, they're just little crunks.
And Crunktown Fungus. I'm kind of disappointed the team name isn't just Crunk. But I can see it. This is a good naming too.
Good naming. Points
good
there.
Naming.
Oh, Point. Who are these idiots? The Edgelords of Ulthway.
Yeah. Well, this is a perfect team, an absolutely perfect team.
Yep.
Definitely going to be the winners of the whole league, guaranteed.
Yeah, not going to come second again.
Not. Fuck you. If you couldn't guess, this was my team.
Yes, this is Olly's team.
This is my elf team because I played elves last time in the form of Chaos Beastmen.
Yeah, with 2 edge 4-ups.
Yep, and a strong arm and a nerves of steel on each, respectively.
Yep. So, just like to, before you sort of go into your tactics and stuff, 3 things I kind of want to congratulate you on. Ulthway, nice 40k reference. You took an assassin, which I personally love after my ethereal game and stabbing the crap out of everyone.
It's incredible.
And also, Anakin Skywalker, Shadow, Illidan, Stormrage. I mean, these are my favourite characters.
All
You know,
the edgiest
all the
characters of all
edgiest.
time.
Yes. So,
Absolutely.
why did you choose 2 runners, 3 blitzers, and an assassin?
So partially the gold differences were all a bit awkward. It managed to work out perfectly. I had 2 rerolls and all of this. Thankfully, cheap rerolls are there. The reason I took an assassin over a witch because they're cheaper, and honestly, I hate frenzy on strength 3. I'm just not. I don't think I'm good enough with the positioning, and it's also just it never works out for me, in my opinion. Jump up is good, I will say, on the witch, and I do understand that's great, but I prefer the ability to just stab is great because it's chainsaw, but without any chance of it going wrong.
Yeah, that's what I found.
It's like all it is. It's like if you can, like sometimes you want to make the block, and that's the other thing. He's still strength 3. He's still edge 4. He can throw a block just as easily as anyone else. But if you're just feeling like, you know what, I want to see if I can get this guy off the field.
Yeah.
You just have a free. Sometimes it's a 26% chance, but it's still a good chance. Fuck it.
Yeah.
If I can get doubles on him, I get multiple block. Even more fun.
Yeah, you do need doubles. Yeah.
Yeah, I need doubles for it. Or if I don't, then I get jump up, and I can do jump up with stab as well, which is just as good because when he gets knocked down, normally the terrible thing is he gets knocked down, and using a blitz on a stab is always the worst thing to do. That's what I learned.
Yeah.
It's like you use a blitz because you want to knock someone down. Stabbing is more every turn. If you can get a stab, that's the ideal.
Yeah, yeah.
I took 2 runners because I wanted 2 guys in the back line who can pass back and forth to each other so that it's very hard to get the ball off of me.
And they both have passing access, so
exactly. So I can get the extra stuff. I can get nerves. I can get pass. I can get diving tackle, diving catch. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I've got everything I'd want. And dump off is. I love dump off. The problem with dump off is it is objectively worse than all of the other passing skills.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have baseline because I already have it, and now everything else is I can choose as I need.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'm already going to get past because it's a reroll, and it's a reroll on a dump off as well.
Yeah, I believe that dump off happens before the block dice are rolled, which is a slight problem.
Nerves is very good. Nerves would be great on these 2 runners, and I think nerves is honestly very good because it just means, especially on an elf team, because it means you can catch on a 2-up and you can dodge on a 2-up all the time.
Yeah,
it's a very helpful thing to get. So I think that's probably what I'll be focusing on is nerves on these 2 runners.
Yeah.
3 blitzers because I couldn't afford the 4th, but that'll probably be my first purchase when I earn enough money. Will be a new blitzer.
I mean, to be fair, when you get to 100k, you have to choose between that 4th blitzer or your 3rd team
and a reroll. Yeah, it's hard. I personally think. I mean, I can saying that. No, I can't do that because I could drop a blitzer and get 2 rerolls, but it's like no, because I have to buy a lineman to replace. So
yeah, so you could drop a blitzer to get a reroll if you want.
Yeah, and that's just not worth it.
No.
Like, so that is a good point. I think it will have to depend on how well I've been doing in the league.
Yeah.
Like, also, the likelihood is I'm probably going to lose some guys because my assassin's only 7 armor, my runners are only 7 armor. But yeah, that's also why I went Dark Elves, was 8 armor on most of the guys. I can't stand Wood Elves or Elven Union purely because of the 7 armor. It's just painful.
I mean, I don't blame you. That's why my mixed elf team has a Dark Elf lineman as well. I gotta ask, will you buy the Apothecary before you get your reroll of Blitzer?
That's another. That's a lot of decisions. I have no idea. As I say, it depends on how well I do. Like, especially just how well I roll on the winnings at the end of the games. Like, if I get exactly 50k, then yeah, I'll probably just buy an Apothecary. And it depends on who. If I'm against Kenry anytime soon, then yes, I will be buying an Apothecary very soon.
Fair enough. Right.
But yeah. Next team.
Emil, one of our new guys.
One of our new members.
He picked these kind of randomly. He was heading right for Listmen, and then I think Jason steered him away at the last minute.
Thank God.
Yeah, for everyone else, but maybe not for him. I mean, I don't know. I personally do like Chaos Dwarfs.
I think they're really good.
Dwarves with some restraint. I know Emil already loves his Bull Centaurs, playing in some friendlies.
Indeed, they are incredibly good.
Yeah, I think this is a classic sort of Chaos Dwarf starting lineup with.
Yeah, ignore the Minotaur. You've got enough other stuff bashy wise. You don't need to worry about him.
Yeah. I just realised Emil is big on mythology. I think he might have a PhD in it, and I can't remember. So sorry, Emil, if you're watching this. But so yes, I appreciate the naming of your Chaos Dwarfs and I believe your Centaurs, but they might be generated names.
Maybe, I think. The Bull Centaurs are always weird names.
Yeah.
So because I know you've played Chaos Dwarfs and you've kit bashed your own team for it in models.
Thank you for the shield, but yes.
Do you use Hobgoblins or Bull Centaurs as your bull carriers?
Oh, it depends how lucky I am at the game. If I can, I will give it to a Bull Centaur.
Yeah, but you don't focus them as your attackers.
I don't. I have to be very, very safe position when I get the bull. Maybe say I receive second turn and I've done enough damage in the first that if I have to spend a turn or two getting it to a centaur, then I'll do it. But otherwise, no, I don't think it's worth the risk.
Okay. Because I always look at it as there's a kind of two options. You either play the ball with the hobgoblins and you play the killing game with everyone else.
Yeah.
And then you save your rerolls for when you want to get both down, or if you want to kill more.
Yeah.
Or you use hobgoblins as markers just to mark people up and give yourself those 2 dice for the Chaos Dwarves, and use the Bull Centaurs as a 2-man scoring team, and you just only use rerolls to pick up the bull, and that's it.
I mean, that's fair, but he's only got 2, so I think at this early stage he might struggle doing that play.
Yeah. Because the other issue with going with hobgoblins is then you level up hobgoblins, which is awful.
It's not that bad. They're 40k, so getting a level up generally doesn't make them that expensive. As long as you don't do it too much.
I guess he's got all the Chaos Dwarf blockers he needs, and he's got all the Bull Centaurs, so there's no more positionals he's really looking for, is he?
No, he only wants Minotaur.
Yeah, and even then I'd say that, again, in this team with 2 strength 4s, I don't think a Minotaur is going to be doing that much extra.
No, I would go for the reroll.
Yeah, I think more rerolls is great on this team, because again, it's a mostly Edge 2 team, and at some point you are going to need to pick it up with a Chaos Dwarf.
Yeah.
It's going to be a shame, but it's going to happen, and you want more rerolls for that time.
Yeah.
Edge 2 is still a 50-50.
Yeah, it is, but maybe it's just I just don't trust it.
It's a 50-50 that's definitely weighted.
Yeah,
just like you're going for it onto the touchline is definitely not a 2-up.
Oh no, definitely not.
As we found in the final, actually.
There you go, Ollie. Last
season.
No,
I will not.
Also, he's obviously got a cheerleader and a coach assistant. I will mention that to him, that he doesn't need to be 100k. And his money saved.
I'm not going to lie, I have seen the value of actually spending the money on the fan factor.
I don't know, because you get it for free over time, and you can lose it, and that's worse, in my opinion.
I suppose that is a good point. You can lose it, but the thing is, it's like if you think you have a strong team, if you think you have a strong first couple games, that fan factor win is so helpful. Like it just gets you. It gets you more money at the end of the game earlier, so you're earning more money sooner.
Did you know?
You are convincing me a little, not gonna lie.
And it gives you more chance to get, you can get blitz, you can have pitch invasion is better for you.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me that it's not a bad shout. Like if you have the 20k left over.
Yeah, like he has.
Like you're not gonna get inducements at this level, because I think he's 980.
Yeah.
You're going to get 20k inducement. So if you save the money, you'll have 40k altogether. You don't want to spend 20k on an inducement.
No.
But why not get 2 fan factor? which means on the fame roll at the beginning of the game, you have a +2, and they have a +0.
Yeah.
I don't think that's so bad. It does depend on who you're against and your confidence in winning. That is the...
Yeah, I mean, if I knew I was up against like a stunty team, obviously not in this season, but in general, then yeah, definitely.
But there's no team in this I'd look at and be like, oh yeah, this is going to be an easy win. I think for anyone, this is
this is a much more balanced league than we've had so far.
Yeah, which will be fun.
Be really good, really good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Next team.
So Michelle, the winner of last season, after some amazing plays. No, I'll stop there. The Rectangular Table Knights, with his off-brand Knights of the Round Table.
Rectangular Table Knights.
Exactly. Now, unlike...
Good name.
So, I was sat in on his discussion with Jason, because obviously Jason played Bretonian last season, and Jason reprimanded him, shall we say, for taking the 4 blockers instead of taking 5 linemen.
When are we going to get to see a game?
I'm with Michelle. I would always max out your positionals, especially as the MVP in Blood Bowl 2 is random. So, less chance to be on these 3. Or, because, Sod's Law, more chance to be on these 3. But, but obviously he's lost a reroll for that. But I think...
Again, if you drop the 2 blockers, you get 2 linemen, you get 1 reroll.
30-30, he would, with his spare cash, he would,
I agree with you, that is not worth in the slightest.
So you think it's better to go this build with 4 blockers?
Yeah, this considering Jason didn't get his 4th blocker until the finals, I think?
Just before.
Just before the finals. And as he did say every time, blockers are so much better than linemen. They have an extra armor, an extra edge, and they have wrestle.
Yeah.
And they're only 30k more.
Yeah.
Honestly, I agree. I think objectively, 4 blockers, 4 blitzers,
I think
with 2 rerolls, this is a disgusting looking team now because it's already at max power. Like, normally I'd expect to, like, on most teams you see when you fill out the positionals, you look and you're like, oh, 0 rerolls.
Yeah.
But this is a full positional, 2 rerolls. That's really nice. That's really good.
Yeah, and his wrestle's going to come into play against like the Chaos Dwarf team with so
Chaos
much block.
Dwarf. There's 4. We'll see him in a minute, but there's Amazons. And I think there's all the blitzers in there.
Yeah, there's also you have 3 blitzers. Skaven has 2 blitzers.
Yeah. It's an incredibly good skill for a person whose job it is to go and hit the ball carrier.
Yeah.
I will also say, I think, in my opinion, I think the blitzers, even though the name is very confusing, because I would consider the blitzers as the ball carriers in this game, and that's almost it.
Ball carriers / my anti-big guy player. Now, he is going to have a great old time against the Khemri with 4 Dauntless. I wouldn't do it every turn, but he can just go, I'll try it on this Tomb Guardian.
Yeah. And you give yourself one blocker, you're most likely going to get 2 dice. You already have block, so even 2 red dice isn't that bad.
Yeah, again, on that point, having 4 blockers, he has 4 chances to get guard, because they have strength access.
Oh, do they? Oh,
yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, no, like, I think Bretonia are an incredible team. I think it is rough, and I will say, I think Jason did have a lot of bad luck.
He did. He
like
definitely
injuries
did.
And like when they were missing and stuff like that.
Yeah, unsurprisingly, his turning point was when he played my halflings, and that suddenly he did better after that.
Yeah. But also, not even that. It's like I think it's more a case of when he started playing a bit riskier with them.
Yeah.
When he started throwing those Dauntlesses out and using these blitzers as ball carriers.
The difference between him playing against me and Robbie playing against me, Robbie going in with his Troll Slayers and going against the treatment every turn, just in case he got one down.
Exactly.
It's worth it.
It's so useful. It is so useful.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm curious to see how this team does.
I think starting wise, this may be one of the strongest teams.
I think just in terms of the actual war player positional skills, definitely.
Yeah.
It'll be these and Amazons are going to dominate the early season.
Well, let's see, because we've also got Skaven here as well. So the Sneak Kit Punches, and again, once it loads, I am a big fan of these names. Maybe not Throat Puncher, but most definitely an elf is Skink, normal wood elf. He's a brilliant, and he's only got 10 players. I will message Ashley and remind him that he needs 11.
I was going to say, one thing I will say, he's got 4 fan factor though.
Yeah, I know. I was also gonna. I have messaged him that already, but like, you don't need 4 fan factor really to start with.
You do need 4 players.
11 players.
Sorry, yeah, an extra player.
Yes,
yeah.
he has 3 gutter runners, 2 storm vermin. I don't know what he's gonna. All he has to do actually is drop his apothecary and take alignment.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't notice this till the recording, so sorry about that. But yeah, let's assume that he doesn't have an Apo and takes alignment.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't drop a gutter runner.
No, I mean, if he drops the fan factor and the apothecary, he can get another blitzer. Because they get access to 4, or is it only 2?
Oh, I am not sure off the top of my head, and I don't really have another device to look that up on.
That's alright, I think it might only be 2.
It might be. They do have 4 gutter runners.
Let me have a look if I have a gutter runner team somewhere.
Yeah, sure. So, Ash played God Save Queen, and before that the Archaeology team, Lizardmen team. Both Lizardmen teams. So yes, we were able to coerce him away to go to the exact opposite in place, well, lore-wise, exact opposite in place Skaven. Yeah, and he's gone for something quite similar, obviously, with the speed.
Yeah.
And Ash, I think he's getting a lot better, so I think the Skaven are like one to look out for.
It'll be interesting. The thing with me that I've generally seen from Skaven teams is they either do everything or they do nothing.
Yeah.
They're a very all-or-nothing team.
His first matchup will also very much depend how because if he goes against if he go against say Kislev, don't really, and maybe either you or the other elf team, he might be okay because his first game won't be against a bashy team that's going to hurt him a lot.
Yeah, that is a good point. There's a lot of armor 7. The thing is, I have stabs, so I'm going to love going against these gutter runners.
Yep, and just mate, armor 7. Armor 7's an easy break when you have no risk.
Exactly.
It is lovely. So, did you find out how many blitzers?
Only 2, so he couldn't get another blitzer.
No, so you might as well go for another lineman. But 3 gutter runners to start with. Only 2 rerolls, but you know.
It's concerning.
It's concerning. But
I
can't remember.
Like, as I say, I did lose to werewolves in the final, and gutter runners are effectively just werewolves, except without the strength 3.
Yeah, I mean that makes them a lot worse, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't think you can get blodge very easily, but
werewolves are good on the attack and the defend. That's why they're so scary. But still, it's just for me, it's movement. So much movement is so you can't deal with it. I find I can't deal with it so often just because it's like, well, I'm always behind in squares, and I'm not good enough at positioning to.
I think you should try humans at some point. They're surprisingly fast. I know they're quite dull, but.
Are they base movement 6 or 7?
6. Blitzers are 7, catches are 8.
Okay.
Only the ogre is 5.
That's not bad. But the thing, I was playing Beastmen. All my Beastmen have movement 6 too.
Yeah.
It's just movement 8 and 9 is because Michelle had a movement 9 werewolf. Everyone didn't know, which was just brutal.
Yeah, I was also going to say, I'm pretty sure Genevieve had a strength 3 gutter runner.
That is amazing. I didn't see that at the end. I didn't fight against strength 3. But, always take strength up. No matter what.
and according to you, always take her movement up as well.
Yeah, always take any of the ups. Like, they're just better.
I don't know about armor.
Actually, yeah, I'll give you armor isn't the best. Although, having 10 armor on like a Chaos Dwarf is satisfying.
Yeah, but wouldn't you rather have movement 5?
That is true.
That's the thing. If you roll armor, you also roll movement. So
that is, I think I will say I think movement is better than armor objectively.
I think probably agree.
Yeah.
Right.
And strength is the best thing to get on a Noblar, just to say.
Oh yeah, definitely. So let's play the communist theme because it's the Elvish Workers' Party.
I do like the naming of this.
Yes, I was very happy as well.
I do like the theme. It is a great theme.
Yes, Elven Union.
Yeah.
1 in 6 chance they won't do anything. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like this is quite a classic Elf Union build. Bang on a grand, 3 rerolls, 2 blitzers, 2 catches, yeah, 1 thrower, no strength 2. Oh, elves suck. I mean, to play against, like.
Yeah. The thing I will say is, actually, interestingly enough, yeah, that's so blitzers have 7 movement, 8 armor.
Yeah.
I don't like Elven Union blitzers.
Oh, to play against, or you just don't
because of sidestep.
Mm.
I think they're overcosted because of the fact they get sidestep, and it's just sidestep to me on a blitzer isn't that useful.
You say this, right?
I've never gotten on with sidestep though, so this is personal, I guess.
But wait until he plays me, and I'm gonna try and surf a blitzer. Forget he has sidestep, and he's just gonna walk away.
I mean, yeah, that's not great.
I think with a rat ogre and my frenzy, and yeah, I think the sidestep's gonna be quite useful in our league.
True, I guess against like the frenzy guys, it will be useful, and against you're against anyone trying to surf him.
Yeah, but as usual for elves, I think his first buy is going to be an Apo. First level up on anyone will probably be dodge on the catches, block on the lineman.
Yeah.
Maybe give him a
kick. 1 thrower, 2 catches. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, in theory, like you were saying, like your ball carrier shouldn't be hit. The thrower should be safe, and the catches do the work, really. And having 2 catches mean there's 2 things in the enemy backline that they got to try and deal with at all times.
I mean, if you like, as I tried to do with my Chaos Beastman Elf team, you basically I threw everyone up down the sides and kept my thrower right out the back, like as far back as he could. And then when he's going to throw, he runs up as far as he can and throws, and it's a 3-up rerollable if you have the right skills.
Yeah.
Because you have Edge 4.
Yeah.
Like, and you shouldn't you only ever do like long bombs when you're really struggling, but you should be alright, and you can normally do a really good like 1 or 2 turn touchdown with that. So I do agree with the catches being Elven Union catches as well are
the best.
Incredible.
They're the best catches. I think they're better than Wood Elves.
Oh god, yeah. Catch and nerves. As I said, nerves on elf catches is incredible because you can catch it on a 2-up and you dodge out on a 2-up and you've scored.
Yeah, and also nerves is a passing skill which they don't have access to as catchers, and and they're not strength 2 like a Wood Elf catcher. I hate ball runners who are strength 2. Yeah, it sucks.
That's why I think in Necromantic, I think don't take. Actually, no, ghouls are always strength 3. I always forget ghouls are strength 3.
They just don't have regen, and that puts me off them.
Yeah, and werewolves are just better. Be a ball carrier. You can still hit them when you have the ball.
Yeah. Right, and then last but not least, XX Only, who I haven't seen this team yet because this got uploaded today. This is Genevieve playing Amazons again, and I believe it's the same build. Yeah, it looks like it. 2 throwers,
2 throws, 2 catches,
4 blitzers, 4 rerolls. God, don't you love Amazons?
That is a disgusting team. Isn't that just objectively a human stat line minus an armor?
Yeah.
And then block and dodge on everything for a loss of armor is well worth it.
Yep.
Pass, catch, and block, and 4 rerolls. They have such cheap rerolls. And a cheap team. Like, they're 90k for a blitzer with block and dodge? Wow, Amazons are strong.
Well, to be fair, you say that, 1 lineman gets blocked. Her worth is only 70k to have block and dodge for the same stats.
That's what I'm saying this seems incredibly powerful. I've never really looked at the stat line of these. I understand armor 7, but you're still never hitting them because they have dodge.
Yeah.
I think the thing for me that looking at this team that makes them look so powerful isn't necessarily the stats or the thing. It's the fact that a linewoman with dodge is 50k.
I know. I think they should be 60. I think they're just a little bit better than a Norse lineman.
Or increase the cost of a team reroll. 50k starting off with a team reroll is elf team.
Yeah.
But elf don't even get dodge. I know we have armor, we have edge 4, but
hold on a second. Can you look up Amazon teams for me online?
sure.
I think that might have changed.
What am I looking for exactly?
Just Amazon team list for Blood Bowl 2016.
2016. Line woman, quantity 5, 250k. So yeah, that's 50k each.
No. I'm on about the rerolls, mate.
Oh, sorry.
What
4 rerolls, 200k. So yeah, no,
they're
50k.
still 50k. Okay, I don't know. Maybe I mistyped it in my own rules or something. But I was so sure the rerolls went up to 60k. Oh well, someone will correct me or tell me I'm wrong.
It's interesting though. But hey, they are strong, but they are weak. That's the thing. Like I'll be able to stab a lot of women.
Yeah, and against the Chaos Dwarfs, they're going to struggle. Against the Bretonians, they're going to struggle, I think.
Yeah, with wrestle and stuff.
But again, most of the other teams, they're going to do very, very well. Very well.
Yeah, I think again, it's they'll do great early, but then.
Well, we'll say that. We'll see who they get paired up with. Should we move on to the starting the matches?
Yeah, sure.
So, schedule. Let's start this competition.
Exciting.
So I don't know if you can see this yet, but the very top we have the Amazons, who we just spoke about, against Crunktown Fungus, the Orc team.
Ooh,
that's a swingy game. That is.
That's gonna depend a lot on how many injuries the Orcs can inflict in the first half.
Yep.
And second game.
It's me versus you.
It's our rematch after a friendly that turned out to be a 1-1 draw.
I know. I got 2 1-1 draws in a day.
Both on turn 16, I believe.
Yeah, actually got then in a 1-1 draw the next day as well. So I'm doing well. Yep.
And then what is it next? It is so just for anyone else. That is Khorne versus Dark Elves.
Yes. Sorry. Go back to the first team. Who do you give the edge to, or do you think anyone has an edge?
I'm going to just quickly look at the Orc team, if it ever loads.
That's fine. I think I'm going to give it to the Orcs. I know we just said the Amazon are strong, but I don't know if they can deal with 4 strength 4 players.
4 strength 4 is strong, but the 2 goblins are dead.
Yeah, they are dead weight.
Not going to be able to play the bull.
The thrower will be.
I'm gonna give it to the Amazons in that.
All right. I think me versus you. We know we got a draw, so
yeah, I think it's going to be swingy, but I think it'll probably end up being a draw again.
Yeah. So then we got Chaos Dwarfs versus Kislev.
Ooh. Dodge does he have? He doesn't have any dodge baseline.
Doesn't have any dodge. No, he has leap.
But he does have leap,
which tackle doesn't affect.
Exactly.
And this is a bit meta here, but Robbie is a very experienced coach.
Yeah,
so I would give it to the Kislev based off of that and the no dodge.
I think Robbie will take it at a cost. I think it will be Kislev win with at least 2 people missing in the next game.
Yeah, fair enough. And then we have the Bretonian against the Khemri, which I said the Bretonian's first game would be great against because of all that numbers. So I think I'd give that to Bretonian quite comfortably.
I actually agree. I think that is really unfortunate for Jason. I think that was the one team he wouldn't have wanted to be up against first time.
But at the same time, at least he gets out the way.
That is true.
While
he doesn't have to go up against a leveled up version of Bretonians.
Unless, of course, we do a second round.
Unless we do a second round, but it's still early. Then he has the next 4 turn games to level up himself.
Yeah, well, 9 games.
If they play last, depends how the thing works.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then lastly, we have Skaven versus the Elven Union.
Oh, that's going to be a high-scoring game.
That's a high-scorer game. I don't know. They're like Ash is a bit more experienced than Jay, but he likes risky plays, which Skaven can do. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah, gutter runners are great at running across the entire length of the pitch.
yeah. So I'm really not sure. Like I would maybe say like maybe a 3-2 to the Skaven, but I don't know.
Yeah, that one's definitely hard to know for sure. But I think that'll be at least 4 goals in that match, maybe a draw at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon it'll be a 2-2 or something like that for that one.
Cool.
But yeah.
I think that pretty much wraps it up for us. So
Indeed.
thank you for joining me here, Ollie.
Happy to come along. Happy to ignore some of my work for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm happy to ignore my housework as well.
Nice.
Yeah. But no, thank you very much, mate. I will see you soon, hopefully, for our game.
Indeed. It'll be good.
Yeah.
Fun.
Can't wait, mate. So yeah.
Bad roll.
For both of us. But yes, thank you anyone who's watching, and we will see you in our first round of games. Bye-bye.
See you all.